You are listening to Reels Movie Podcast. I am your host, Z, and before I get into this review, let me remind you to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment below, hit that bell for notifications, and you'll never miss a future episode. I would like to apologize for the late review for this movie, but I was unexpectedly busy for the past week. But I'm back and ready to do a review for Quentin Tarantino's ninth movie, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A faded television actor and his stunt double strive to achieve fame and success in the film industry during the final years of Hollywood's golden age in 1969 Los Angeles. I've been a really big fan of Quentin Tarantino and I've loved all of his movies, especially some of my favorites like Jackie Brown, Django Unchained, and Inglourious Bastards. So I was really looking forward to this movie. I really did think he was going to be covering the Sharon Tate murder more in this. All the key points are brought up here. We have everything here about the murder, the timeline, Charles Manson, the Manson family, Spawn Movie Ranch, which is where the Manson family lived. But all in all, that's really all that it covers. Everything was built up leading to what you think was the realistic ending of Sharon Tate being killed. But Tarantino gives us an alternate ending, and Sharon Tate lives, and her killers are visually killed by Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio's characters. The third act was your typical Tarantino fashion with the excessive violence, blood splatter everywhere, and the outrageousness that Tarantino delivers. It was a wild final scene that I really did love and enjoy, and it gave the movie a shot of adrenaline that it really needed. But the Sharon Tate storyline was pointless and shoehorned in there to space out the movie. I would have enjoyed just watching Pitt and DiCaprio just do their thing, and I would have been happy, but we got force fed a story and characters that overall had no bearing on the movie itself. I absolutely loved the pairing of DiCaprio and Pitt. These two work extremely well together. They were funny, they fed off each other really well. It was a perfect pairing for the movie. We learned more about DiCaprio's character, Rick Dalton, and how he's a fading action star. We even get to see him filming a TV pilot of him playing the bad guy, which is what he does more so, but he's always looking for bigger things. It was cool to see the process of his character and really see how good of an actor Dalton really is and the praise he receives from fellow actors and the director. DiCaprio really brought in his A game here, and his character was probably one of the best of the entire bunch. Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, was good as well, but I wish I got to see more of him. He was sort of the conscience to Leo's character, always had Dalton's back regardless of the situation. We get a backstory of Booth about him killing his wife, but that's briefly mentioned and it's never heard from again. I wish they elaborated more on that, at least some of a story about how he got away with it, the court system, or something along the lines of that. Booth was a very strong character to Dalton's emotional wreck. If the story just would have dropped the entire Sharon Tate part and stayed with Dalton and Booth on their work together and trying to regain Dalton's career, I would have been okay with it because Leo and Pitt were the most entertaining parts of the movie. One of my favorite scenes of the movie was the scene of Booth fighting with Bruce Lee on set that we saw in a flashback. It was a fun scene. Pitt looked like he had a great time doing it, and the actor that played Bruce Lee was very funny. Margot Robbie, she was good, and I really didn't expect her to have so much screen time. Many of her scenes killed any type of flow that the movie had because it didn't lead to anything. There's nothing at stake for a character in many of her scenes, obviously, what we see in the ending. So it's just not to continue to shove. So those scenes were nothing more to continue to shove this storyline down our throat. Like I said earlier, I absolutely do love Tarantino's movies. They're smart, fun. The acting's always top notch, but this one isn't one of his best works. There's just so much talking, and I mean characters just sitting there dabbling about nothing relevant, and it comes off rather boring. I really can't put the movie down a lot, and I'm not going to discredit the movie at all. I liked many parts of it, but there were many parts I did not like. Consistent driving that we get for the characters, the flashback scenes that had flashbacks in them, the random weird conversations that the characters have. This really felt like a Tarantino movie, but it also feel like it wasn't from him. I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a C plus. Thank you for listening to this episode of Reels Movie Podcast. If you like this review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, make sure you give that thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you later.